It's pretty common that when you start moving into a positive direction in your life, you start to make not one change, not two changes, but maybe a handful of just small little changes. Maybe you want to try eating a little better or sleeping a little more, trying to find that equal balance. Maybe you're trying to get outside more. You're just changing up a lot of different things. And although at first it may not seem like a whole lot, like it doesn't take that much to walk outside. It doesn't take that much to go to bed earlier. It doesn't take that much to not go get fast food. But when you're starting to stack everything up, it ends up being a lot more than you realize. And then we end up feeling so tired and so burnt out, and we get run down without even realizing that we're doing it to ourselves. Yeah, it's really hard to see positive changes in your life when you're piling up so much that you don't even notice. And it's so hard to when it seems all positive. Like, how could it be harmful? Like, you have good intentions and good feelings about it, and you really, like, that's how you want to see your life in the future, or even better than that, just making it more natural. And it's so hard to realize that even though there are good intentions and it is a good change, that can also be too much, and that can also be holding us back. Welcome to the Radiant Sign. My name is Kendra. I'm a spiritual life coach, and I help my clients get through the blocks in their lives to get to their ultimate success. And in trying to get to that ultimate success, it's very common to make a lot of changes in life, changes that seem positive, but ends up actually having a negative effect on us. But how is that possible when we have such good intentions with it and it feels so right and it excites us? Well, there's nothing wrong with making those changes in your life, but maybe keep in mind as to how many changes you're making at the same time. Because when we're making a big change, it takes, and I'm sure you can guess, a lot of energy. A lot of energy. So when we're making so many changes, all of those changes need so much energy. So if we are piling up all of these things and we're making these ridiculous expectations for ourselves to have all of this completed within 1 month, 2 months, it's not as realistic as one may think. So where all of these things need so much energy, how can you expect yourself to divide, say there's 5 changes you want to make. How can you expect yourself to divide your energy into 5 different things and expect to get the outcome that you would as if you focused on just each thing individually with all of your energy? Like, you're expecting something from yourself that isn't even humanly possible. It's actually something that even I'm trying to change. I am notorious for multitasking. I'm a single mom of 2, and I have 2 fur babies too. Like, multitasking is my middle name. It's what I'm best at. I can totally see how that's been taking more of my energy and not really helping me in the long run. So when we're trying to make all these changes and we have a certain expectation for how it's supposed to look, maybe just focus on that one thing. Just out of the little or long list that you have, just find the one thing that calls to you the most, the one thing that excites you the most, the one thing that you feel will make such a huge change. It'll just make everything kind of flow naturally, and it'll kind of change on its own. Focus on that one thing and put all of your energy into it. Once you go all in on something that has your undivided attention, your full energy, you will see that change in your life so much quicker than you would if you were dividing up your energy, whether that be between 5 things or even 2 things. And I personally love this analogy of, imagine chasing after 2 rabbits and trying to catch them both at the same time. If you're focused on chasing 2 rabbits that are splitting up and going in different directions, you're not going to end up catching either one of them, because at least one will need your full attention and your full energy so you can actually catch it. Likewise with our goals, with our changes that we are trying to implement into our lives. We're one person. So stop expecting yourself to make the change of 10 people. It's so much to put on yourself, and it's so easy to get so down when we don't get to the outcome that we had envisioned in our mind. And I hope that helps some of you out there, because I know if I were to set my mind to a handful of things and I don't get any of them to where I want them to be, I start to feel pretty down. Like, well, maybe I'm not cut out for this. Maybe my old teachers were right. Maybe, or my mom or whoever that person is for you. Well, maybe they're right. Maybe I can't do it because of my ADHD or ADD. Maybe I just can't do it because I don't have the focus. I lack the discipline. I just can't. And then in comes those negative beliefs. And then when we have such a strong belief in something, it's going to become our reality. So in putting so much on ourselves with a positive and pure intent, it can actually end up reinforcing that negative belief system that you have, saying that you're not worthy enough to have those changes in your life. So if you just back it up a bit, focus on one thing, go all in on it, put all of your focus on it, finish that first, and then go to the next thing that brings you the most excitement. Put all of your energy in on that. And you don't have to do this stuff in 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. You don't even have to do it in 6 months. You could take a year or 2 years to get all of these changes made in your life, and that's a hell of a lot better than wasting 5 years trying to juggle everything and still not feeling like you've made that much progress. So you can get a lot further in 2 years focusing on one thing at a time than you would in that longer period of time when you're focusing on a million different things, juggling everything. And so instead of setting yourself up for failure, do something to ensure your success in at least one thing. And just in completing one thing, that's going to fill you with so much motivation and positive momentum to keep going and to do other things. And with doing that one thing, again, you will see other changes come naturally, because you're going to be changing your identity, your personality in just that one thing. So don't think that you have to be a superhero and get all this stuff done and impress a bunch of people or even impress yourself. There's no one to impress. Hey, bags. And keep in mind, too, that even with choosing that one thing, no matter what it is that you choose, the creation process will always be chaotic, no matter what. It's something new in your life. It's different. It's the unknown. It might be uncomfortable at first. It's going to have bumps in the road, unique, personalized challenges made just for you. It's going to get messy, but that's what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to test you a little bit, just to make sure that you're positive about this change, that this is something that you truly want and you truly identify with. So when you see those challenges coming in, don't let yourself think that you're not worthy of completing this challenge just because it looks a little messy, because it doesn't look quite right to what you had envisioned. Because just as we are exactly where we're supposed to be right now, you will end up getting to exactly where you're supposed to be in the future. So don't focus too much on that. The future is not here or there. It's an illusion. Focus on what you're doing now. Be present with everything coming in, and trust that no matter where you end up in the future, you were supposed to end up there. Because when that future comes, then it'll be the present. And we are always where we're meant to be. So don't think that you're doing something wrong because it's kind of rocky, or because you are looking at other people doing the same things and you're seeing completely different results. Those people could have years under their belt of making these changes and implementing new routines. It's very, very, very different for everybody. And another thing that will help you achieve the goals that you have created for yourself is making sure, 100% sure, that the people in your circle are all people that support you. Because if you have somebody that's against what you're doing, it's gonna end up swaying you. Even if you don't really notice it, it could really pull you down into a different frequency, a lower frequency. And that's not what you need in this moment in your life, or any moment in your life for that matter. Trust your intuition. Go all in. Give it everything you've got. Make sure you have a good support system. And just another thing, I'm not sure if this would benefit you, but I have heard that creating a minimal workspace will help in eliminating or limiting distractions to do other things. Like if you did have more than one goal, if you had a little area to work, but you didn't have anything in it, like say, for an example, you have a desk set up and you might have like some fidgets and whatever else there and pictures and, just a bunch of stuff on the desk. Take it all off. Just move it all. Just have an empty desk and whatever it is that you're working with to improve that certain area of your life. So if you're a content creator and you're trying to build more on social media, all you should have is your equipment for just that. Like your computer, maybe a mic, a spotlight. Like you don't need anything else in your area that could cause a distraction. So, it's very easy for our minds to bounce around from thing to thing to thing to thing to thing. And then we end up taking like 5 breaks and then we end up multitasking during those breaks. Like one thing just leads to another and then we end up spiraling and we lose concentration. We lose that focus. We lose that momentum and motivation. So really limiting what we have in our general vicinity, like in our vision, again, I haven't tried this. I actually just heard this recently, so I haven't cleared everything off, but in theory, it should improve your focus on that specific task because it's not pulling you in different directions. So I don't know if that would help at all. It's something to give it a shot, and you're never going to know what is going to benefit you until you just start trying random things, right? It's pretty easy to make a list of things that could improve what you're doing. So let's say you're trying to improve the amount of energy you have in a day, but you have heard so many different things that could help you get there. Maybe it's drinking more water, eating different foods, fixing your sleeping habits, getting outside more, doing daily affirmations. It's so easy to make a list of things that might work, but you're never going to know exactly what is going to work for you specifically until you just start doing things. And I know that probably sounded kind of contradicting to what I've been saying as to focus on one thing, but that it's the same. Like if you make a list, and I feel like some people will hear this and say, oh, just try random things. Okay. And they just try everything, but that's multitasking. It's still dividing up your energy into a bunch of different things, and it's very, very hard to get to the outcome that you desire in doing that. So make the list and pick out the one thing that is calling to you the most and just put all your energy into that. So maybe you want to try just drinking more water every single day. So just focus on that. Never mind the sleep routine, never mind going outside, never mind affirmations. Drink more water. Just make it a point to keep drinking more water and have that be that one change. And if you're consistent with that, but it's just not really doing what you need it to do, try something different. Maybe don't focus so much on the water, but put your focus more now into going to bed earlier. Just pick one thing and go all in. It will make it so much easier. And again, with the reinforcement of the negative thought patterns with I am not worthy. I can't do this. I just wasn't made to live a life like that. I just don't have it in me. Get rid of all that shit. Just don't pile so much on yourself. This isn't high school where you go and sit through a whole day of school and then you go home and you have homework from every single freaking class and they expect you to excel in everything. This isn't school. You're not being graded. Pick one thing. Put all of your focus there. And it'll take time. So do that one thing maybe every single day for 2 weeks, every single day for 2 months. Just set simple goals, and it's so much easier to set that simple short-term goal and achieve it and then feel like an energy rush and an inspiration to extend that goal, to challenge yourself a little more. Because if you're setting this goal 4 months out and you're finding it challenging 2 months in, you're subconsciously saying, well, great, I only made it halfway there. Like, I still have 2 more months to go until I make this, like, challenge that I did for myself. And, like, I don't think I'm going to make it. Like, I'm just falling out of the flow with it. And, like, I just failed. But if you did 2 weeks and now all of a sudden you're 2 months in, then you can look back and say, holy shit, like, I fucking blew that out of the water. Like, what else am I capable of? What else can I do? Like, how far can I go? What's my next goal? This, like, there's such a huge difference, and it's all the perspective that you have on it. So don't set an outrageous goal for yourself. Expect so much of yourself when all of the energy isn't where it needs to be. So I hope this was beneficial, and if you are notorious for multitasking like I am, then I hope that I just called you out, because it's time to kind of review everything and see if what you're doing is truly beneficial to you. Again, it may have started with a positive and pure good intent, but how is it affecting you really? How are you feeling now? Are you more lifted and inspired and energized to do more, or are you absolutely exhausted every single day to the point where you don't even want to do this stuff anymore? You're just forcing yourself to do it all because you think it's going to get you to a good place. Start asking yourself those important questions, because if you are run into the ground every single day just trying to do something beneficial to your life, it's kind of contradicting. So take a step back, take a breather. You're doing great. And if it's messy, good. It means you're doing something right. And it will work itself out. You are exactly where you need to be right now. And again, I can't stress it enough. I don't even know how many times I've mentioned it in this video, but just pick the one thing that brings you the most excitement. Put all of your energy into it and follow it as far as you can. And when you can't anymore, go to the next thing that brings you the most excitement. But whatever it is that you focus on, make sure it's just one thing that is not, it's not a million different things that drains you. Set realistic goals and see the positive change in your energy. And when it happens, it's going to happen quick and it's going to feel good. So keep that faith in yourself. Again, you're doing great. So don't look at all the goals that you've been trying to get and get down on yourself because you haven't achieved them all. Just look at it from a different perspective. Maybe I should slow it down, and maybe in slowing down, I'll actually get further. So again, I hope this was beneficial to you. If you haven't already, give a quick like and subscribe. Share it to a friend if you think it'll help them out. And I hope to see you in the next video. Peace out.